So the man, he's out and about. He's got several different girls that he goes out with, which is absolutely stunningly amazing to me, especially at his age and his health or whatever. He doesn't have any money, and he doesn't ever bring them around the manor house. They go out. I think they spend their money. The girls spend their money. So it's ludicrous. But here I am. I'm if I can, I watch baseball. I love watching baseball. I love watching the New York Mets. Believe it or not, since you know I love the Rangers, you know I have to love the Mets. But the Mets don't happen to be on today. I'm going to watch a little baseball. I will. And also, guess what? This time of year, you can watch some baseball. You can watch some Stanley Cup playoffs. And I will be watching when it's time. I won't be watching my New York Rangers. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm watching Columbo. And it's the Columbo where the sister kills her overbearing protective brother in a false burglary, kind of a homicide thing, where she pretends she thought he was a burglar and she guns him down with 3 shots from a .38. This was the first time in any Columbo in the history of all Columbos where the victim doesn't immediately just die. For the first time, the guy, and I think he later became the Bionic Woman's handler. Or maybe it was Colonel Steve Austin's handler. I cannot remember. But he managed one of those superheroes, those latter-day kind of superheroes. But he looks up. He takes 3 slugs to the torso. He goes down like a sack of dirt, but he manages to rise up in like a half a push-up, and he looks at him like, "You just did this to me? What? He's like, and that was the first time a victim in Columbo ever didn't just die instantaneously. Like, they hit him in the head with a rock and he's dead. They don't move, they don't groan, they scream, but then when the actual thud or the knife strike or the whatever, the gun, they're instantaneously dead. They're in heaven instantly. Cut to heaven. They're already there. But, so that was, but it went to a commercial because I'm watching on the IMBD thing with the commercials, and that's the only way you can watch the Columbos for free. But anyways, it cuts to a commercial, and I'm kind of daydreaming because it's like they tell you, it's like 72 seconds or 68 seconds or 37 seconds. Like, I'm zoning out. You just gave me my time I have to zone out for. I'm not watching no commercials. But a Cologuard commercial came on, and it said, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And I'm always like, the stool. You've got to collect your own stool. Human beings are trying to collect their own stool and mail it around, And you're like, gosh, what is it what we're training our people to do? I'm a dog. I might sniff my poop. Hey, if I got to, sometimes it's almost advantageous if I have to eat another dog's poop, especially when it's been aged, especially in the spring months, especially when you have that cooling and the warmer days mixed in and you have the rainy weather and the windy weather. Oh, you can't pass up another dog's turd when it's been aged properly by a Kentucky spring, a month of Kentucky spring. But anyways, I digress. So the Cologuard commercial comes on, and it fought through my laissez-faire or laissez-faire, whatever you call it when you're too lazy to listen, and I zoned them out, and they told me the number of seconds I have to imagine something else happening, and I zone out. But the Cologuard, it fought its way through, and it said it's for people who aren't of a high risk because false positives and negatives occur, in like 8% of the time. 8% of the time, you got like almost a 1 in 10 chance of being told you have cancer when you don't, or God forbid, you're not told you have cancer right at the early stages when they can save you. So, it's a 1 in 10 chance I got cancer. You could have saved me, you could have helped me, but you give me a false negative, and I don't get the help I need. And I'm wondering, who was the genius who thought this thing up? And he said, I'm going to get human beings to mail their poop all over the country. First, we're going to get them to collect their poop. They're going to look at their poop. They're going to be closer to their poop than they've ever been before in their lives. They're going to, they're going to smell it worse than they ever smelled. It's going to be, in a plastic thing. Kind of crap. It's like your crap will probably touch your butt cheeks and your hip. Any kind of meat hanging down is going to get a brush of poop. And then you got to turn around. You got to scoop it a little bit into a cup. And then you got to go to the post office. And you got to ask, say, hey, is it okay if I mail this poop in? Any special way I mail the poop? Because you just put it in a box and I just give it to you. It's all right, whatever. It's good. Humans are mailing their poop all over the country. Humans are taking poops in a way that they can then turn around and make collections of their poop. Take that sample to the post office and they're mailing it all over the place. And this is, this fought through my, whatever you call it when you're zoning everything out, If it got through, and I'm like, this is crazy. And I'd like to know who's making the money off of this idea. Hey, guy, what are we going to do? Listen, I'm out fresh out of ideas. You got anything? Well, this guy over here, he's got an idea where we can make money off of getting people to mail their poop all over the country. And wow, really? And what do you do? He says, "Sure, believe me. The bottom line is, we're going to make money, and people are going to be mailing their poop. And the post office is going to make some money, too. So it's great. It's a win-win. The taxpayer, down the line, as it gets a little bump, if the post office does better, they're going to take less of the taxpayers' taxes. So it's a win-win-win, And that became Cologuard. They said, hey, if we can make money off of having people mail their poop around, phenomenal. And 1 in 10 chance it's meaningless, and they're still making the money. We're still getting it, and the money's not meaningless. So, but thank goodness, if sooner or later, in 10 seconds and 8 seconds, whatever it's going to be, you count down, they'll go back to Colombo, and you can watch about the girl who gut shot her brother because he wouldn't give her enough freedom, wouldn't let her loose and have enough joy in her life, so she gut shot him. But hey, it seems a little bit mercenary. It seems a little Machiavellian to me, but what do I know? I'm just a dog. Whatever. It's all right. It's enjoyable. I'm loving watching this Colombo. That's for sure.